Let me just say first, the world is on fire, and history will judge us by our actions. Were you Chamberlain or were you Churchill? It all started with Afghanistan, the debacle, the implosion, the surrender to the Taliban that projected weakness, not strength. It invited aggression, not peace. What happened? Putin and the Russian Federation, we saw it on satellite imagery, going down to Ukraine to begin their invasion, and we warned them. I talked to the ambassador, our ambassador to Ukraine yesterday. Kharkiv is on the verge of falling. That's 2 million people, and the power grid could be taken down. It's a very dire situation in her words. China is more aggressive now than ever, threatening to take over Taiwan that controls 90% of our advanced semiconductor manufacturing for the world. And now the Ayatollah has raised his ugly head with his proxies, his tentacles, and for the first time in history, unprecedented, an Iranian strike from Iran in Israel itself, on Israel soil. How did we get here? By projecting weakness, not strength. Iran not enforcing sanctions. Energy sanctions to the tune of $80 billion were essentially waived so that China could buy $80 billion of energy and fund Iran's terror enterprise. What else happened? The UN sanctions expired. We did nothing on the drones and the missiles, the very same drones and missiles that we saw launched last weekend, last Saturday night. The same missiles and drones that we know Mr. Putin is buying and killing the Ukrainians with as they build a manufacturing base in Russia itself. We need to go back to the maximum campaign, pressure campaign. We need to enforce these sanctions. We need to redesignate the Houthi rebels as a foreign terrorist organization, for God's sakes. I don't understand this accommodation and appeasement to the Ayatollah in the hopes of some Iran deal when their own envoy, special envoy to Iran, is under FBI investigation for violations of his security clearance. You really can't make this up. The speaker has a plan. We're going to address Israel. We're going to address Ukraine. We're going to address Taiwan. And we're also going to have a fourth package with things like My Repo Act to help pay for this from Russian sovereign assets. We're going to have a loan program for direct government payments. Creative ideas, a package that will be far better than the Senate's. And I want to thank the Speaker for his leadership in this very, very difficult time and very dangerous time. But the time clearly tacked is now. I'm off to a hearing with Secretary Mayorkas. We'll be walking over articles of impeachment today. We're going to demand the Senate do their constitutional responsibilities and hold a trial. This man is responsible for 200,000 people who are dead now because of fentanyls. This man is responsible for 350 on the terror watch list in this country now, posing a threat every day. 9 million encounters. He is responsible for releasing aggravated felons. In fact, in a memo, he told his agents, disregard Congress's law that says mandatory detention for aggravated felons, release them into society. We believe he merits impeachment. That is our message, and that is what we intend to do. And with that, I want to turn it over to our whip, Mr. Emmer.